Friends. Nice to see all of you in today morning session. Today we are taking up the last part of our syllabus, that is mergers and acquisitions. We call it M&A. This merger and acquisition, it is given syllabus in two chapters, chapter 4 and chapter 5. It is a mix of theory of merger and acquisition and a few practical sums which will be asked in section B and section C. Today we look at theoretical concepts of merger and acquisition. So let us look at what is merger. As all of us know, you heard about this particular word, merger and acquisition, very often. And when you look at worldwide, the merger and acquisition taking place every day. Every day it is part of company restructuring. So in broader form, this merger and acquisition is known as corporate restructuring. So one of the forms of corporate restructuring is mergers and acquisition. One of the forms of corporate restructuring is mergers and acquisition. So merger, as all of us knew, the combination of two companies and forming a new company. So merger refers to the process whereby at least two companies combine into a single entity. So any transaction that forms one economic unit from two or more previous ones, it is called the merger. So it's a combination of two or more companies into a single entity, and one survive and the other lose their corporate entities. So according to England law, merger is the blending of two or more existing undertakings into one undertaking. The shareholders of each blending company becoming substantially the shareholder in the company which is to carry on the blended undertaking. So we could see many examples of mergers and acquisition. The most prominent one in the recent times is Tata Chorus merger. You can come down. It is $13 billion. And then we could see in our country, the major merger took place between Vodafone and Idea, which was the deal size of $23 billion. And Flipkart and Myntra recently, which is having the deal size of $300 million. And like this, you can see many merger which took place in and around the world. And we could see the various forms of merger. You can see down various forms of mergers. One is amalgamation. It is called the merger. So amalgamation and merger is one and the same. Merge, amalgamation, absorption, combination, acquisition, takeover, demergers. So all different forms of merger. You can come down. So amalgamation and merger is same. Combining two entities, two or more entities, and forming a new entity is called amalgamation or merger. And the absorption is another form of merger. It's a combination of two or companies into existing company. So in case of absorption, the existing company is taking over two more companies, and the company which is going to be merged, which is going to be taken over, that company lose its identity. So few examples are given in the concept. And then we have a third important concept is the combination or consolidation. It's very important in recent banking merger, which took place recently in our country. And last Tuesday, last April 1st, we have witnessed about 4 or 5 banking companies combined into one banking company. So consolidation is one of the forms of merger. So consolidation of two or more companies combined to form a new company. In this form, the merger of all companies legally dissolved and new entities are created. You can come down. Yeah, you can come down. Yeah, top. Yeah. So you could see the April 2017, 9 SBI subsidiary banks and consolidated into SBI. And April 1, 2020, last Tuesday, 27 public sector banks consolidated into now 12 public sector banks. So in our country, we had 27 public sector banks, government-owned banks. Currently, we have only 12 public sector banks. So Oriental Bank of Commerce from April 1, 2020 onwards, last Tuesday onwards, Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank of India will be merged into Punjab National Bank. It's one type of consolidation. So this Punjab National Bank will be the second largest bank after SBI. Syndicate Bank is merged to Canara Bank. So it will be the fourth largest bank. So Indian Bank will be merged with the Allahabad Bank. So Union Bank of India is merged with the Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank. So now currently we have only 12 government-owned banks. So we had earlier 27 government-owned banks. Currently we have 12 government-owned banks. So it is form of the consolidation to reduce competition between banks. Acquisition is another form of merger, acquiring another company and two more companies combining into one. But the existing company will remain as the same legal entity, but the company which is taking over will be merged with the parent company. So the example is given. Then takeover is another form of merger. It involves the acquisition of a certain stake in the equity capital of a company, which enables the company to exercise control over the affairs of the company. So we call it friendly takeover and hostile takeover. Friendly takeover means through mutual consensus, one company is taking over another company. That is called friendly takeover. Hostile takeover is without the permission of the other company, parent company is taking over the other company. Is called the hostile takeover. That is without the permission, the company is taken over. So the example is given. It's called Hidalgo took over Indel by taking 54% stake in Indel company. Then we have demerger, which is the opposite of merger and acquisition. So demerger means splitting a division of a company into a legal entity. It's called a demerger. So Hero Honda is demerged with Honda and became Hero. So these are all different forms of merger. The acquisition, takeover, consolidation, these are all different forms of merger. So all these different forms of merger are collectively known as corporate restructure. And what are different types of mergers? So we have horizontal, vertical, and conglomerate. So concentric and circular we don't look at. So these are all three different types of mergers. Concentric and circular we need not give much attention. So horizontal means this involves two companies operating the same kind of business entity and combining each other. That is called horizontal merger. The main purpose is to get economics of scale in production by eliminating the duplication of facilities and operations. So combining two companies which involve a same type of business operation, so involving same type of business activity, is called horizontal merger. So this is a combination of two or more companies in similar types of production distribution areas of business. The main motives is reduction in competition, putting an end into price cutting, economics of scale in production, research development, increase in market share. So all different motives of horizontal merger. The book publishers of two manufacturing to gain dominant in the market share. Two book publishing companies combining into a new company. It's called horizontal merger. Now, the recent merger consolidation took place between banks. It is horizontal merger. The current merger of 27 public sector banks into 12 public sector banks is the example for horizontal merger. So horizontal merger increase monopoly power of the combined entity. Then vertical merger, the different another type of merger. This happens between companies in different stages of production and operation. That is, we call it forward integration and backward integration. Expands the exposing backward integration to assimilate source of supply and forward integration towards market uh, uh, outlets. So the paper or for example, the textile company is purchasing the spinning company. So the textile company, when you look at it, it has got different operations: spinning, weaving, bleaching, and coloring. A textile company is purchasing a spinning company. It's called backward integration. The textile company is buying the retail distribution company of clothes. It is called forward integration. So backward integration is buying raw material based operations. Forward integration is going towards the customer orientation. So when the company combines the supplier of materials, it's called backward integration, as it was mentioned earlier. When it combines with the customer, it's known as forward merger. So vertical forward integration is buying a customer. It's called forward integration. The Indian Doyen's acquisition of Madura garments along with the brand rights is called forward integration. Backward integration means buying a supplier of raw materials is called the backward integration. So lowering the major advantages of this type of integration is we can get the material at lower cost, we can reduce our distribution cost, we can assure of supplies and market, we can increase the creating barriers to enter into potential competitors. These are all different advantages of the horizontal integration. Then conglomerate merger, it's the opposite of both. It's a combination of two unrelated business operations. It's called conglomerate merger. The conglomerate merger represents the merger of companies engaged in unrelated business activities. It is called the conglomerate. For example, paper-based paper company is buying a FMCG company. It's called a conglomerate merger. The IT company is purchasing the company which manufactures the paper. It is called conglomerate merger. So three types of conglomerate merger we can see. One is the product extension merger, and the geography extension merger, and the pure conglomerate merger. So product extension merger means two different types of products the company can merge. It's between two product lines of firms. Geographic means involves two companies whose operations have been conducted in non-overlapping geographic areas. In Pizza Hut as a food chain restaurant and centered in US, and they want to start their restaurants in India. It is called the geographic extension merger. So different several different examples of conglomerate merger. Okay. So we have seen different forms of merger and different types of merger. So these are all questions we can expect in section A, called what is vertical merger, what is horizontal merger, what is conglomerate merger. All these all type of questions you can have difference between merge and acquisition. So all different types of questions we can expect in section A. The next we can see that advantages of mergers or motives of merger. Why should the company go for mergers? Different advantages given and explanation is given. It's all self-explanatory. You can just read and understand all this. It's all self-explanatory. You can procure supplies and market expansion strategy and financial to improve your financial strength. We go for merger. And to diversify your products and market, we go for merger. Merger has got taxation benefits. The money that you pay as a deal size, the purchase price, you can claim as the tax exemption. And managerial, improving the managerial competencies of companies. That is another important advantage. And you can acquire certain specific assets through mergers. And surely it is motivated for growth advantage. And we need to revamp our production facilities. The company goes for a merger. So all different advantages of mergers which can